Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's crafting stream. You may wonder why I am wearing an N95 mask. It's because if you watched Thursday's stream, you're aware that one of my sons has tested positive for COVID. So inside the house, anytime that one of the kids is going to be going through the room, I am wearing the mask. One of them is in the upstairs bathroom because his brother is taking a shower in the downstairs one. So I have to wait for him to finish up so that he can go through, after which I can take off the mask. But for right now, I apologize that you can't see my face that well. It is a very well fitted mask though, I can tell you that. If you notice, anytime I inhale, it pulls in towards my face because it has such a good seal. That is how you know you have a properly fitted N95, is that it does not in any way impede my ability to breathe. If you notice I'm breathing heavy, it's because I was in a rush to get my kids to bed, which of course they take as a good excuse to, oh, time to take a shower, and you know, they're 14, of course they don't want to go to bed. That said, tonight we will be working on the memorial plushie for Monster again. Gonna real quick swap to his picture. Tonight we are going to be working on his head and ears. So I'm just moving to that part of the pattern real quick. And then I'll grab my yarn and get started. Okay, ears. Ears are thankfully very easy, so they are just, they're worked flat, so you just kind of flip them back and forth. I do apologize for the fact that the stream is starting later than it normally does on Sundays. I'm trying right now to figure out what I'm going to do about the stream once I finish my training for the new job. The new job's training will be Monday through Friday, so I'll still have my Sunday nights available to do my stream. However, once that training is done, I'm going to have to figure out something else, because I will be working Sunday nights, or Sunday evenings, I guess it would be, from... Where are my stitch markers? Why have they disappeared? I bet they're back here. There they are. Ooh. Sorry for that very flattering angle of me. I will be working Sunday evenings until 11 p.m. As we all have seen, 11 p.m. Central Standard, I should specify. As we've seen, 11 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. is when I also have to medicate our elderly cat, which means that I would only have 30 minutes to stream, and then I would have to take a break to medicate. So I'm looking for a better night. Friday nights are already taken, so it might end up having to be Saturday nights. Or Saturday sometime during the day. That, or I can do the streams super early in the morning, or I suppose super late at night for a lot of people. I just prefer not to if I can avoid it, because I know that there are people who have daytime hours who like to watch these streams. Also, keep in mind, I am able to see the chat while doing a crafting stream, so if you have any questions, comments, feel free to pop in with those. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so it's just done flat, like I said. You go ahead and pop back over to the chatting tab. So, you know what, I just realized I was looking for stitch markers. Since these are done flat, I don't really need them. So, give me just a sec to get this starting chain. 13. Okay. Okay, yeah. That's fairly normal. Alright. We're going to flip it over. We are going to be working in the backs of the bumps on this starting chain. That will give us a nice, neat end to the piece. It is a trick I actually picked up from one of my patterns that is making a crochet octopus. You work in the bumps on the backs of the chains to make the tentacles, and it gives you a nice flat top for those tentacles, and then a ridged underside, which is very much like an actual octopus. So, yay! I have not worked flat for a while, aside from the those blanket squares I did a while back. I'm normally working in the round, so this will be something I haven't done in a while, and we'll hope I don't make a gigantic amalgam ear that gets way too big, but we'll see. Okay. Let's see. News from the world of Mason. I did get the new job, as I mentioned. I know I talked about that on the gaming stream. I don't know that I mentioned it on my crafting stream because last week I still hadn't interviewed. She'd pretty much decided I was hired within 5 minutes of the interview starting because, I mean, I'd already worked for the same company, doing the exact same thing. I was great at it. And basically the whole interview was just a formality to make certain that, you know, I wasn't, hadn't had like a drastic change of personality or work ethic since that time, which I haven't, aside from realizing that your company doesn't value you nearly as much as you valued your work for the company, so maybe don't kill yourself trying to make your boss happy anymore. Which I hate to have to do that. It kills me to not have the same work ethic I've always had, but your company's not gonna really have your back the way that I'd always anticipated them doing. So, you gotta watch out for yourself. I don't know. It's sad, but whatever. I did get some important paperwork, so sometime soon I will be doing taxes, and while I have had people jokingly go, oh, you should do those on your stream so we can actually see how to do taxes, while that is an amusing thought, no, I am not dumb enough to put that information out on my stream. I'll put plenty of information out, but not that one, so... Oh, hold up just a sec, folks. What's up, kiddo?
I forgot you were streaming today.
Yeah.
Why do you do that on Fridays?
Fridays are my knitting group get-together that I host. Thursday super early in the morning is my gaming stream, and Sundays are my crafting stream.
Alright.
What's up?
I'll go back upstairs, okay?
You need to go to bed. Ay, ay, ay. We did have to have a technician come out and try and fix our internet today, which was fun. Because basically, since, you know, the quarantine, I had to put everybody in different rooms to ensure that they all stayed safe, and I had to wear the N95 the whole time and basically keep 6 feet distance no matter what was going on. So we made certain that the guy was safe the whole time. You know, we didn't put him at any risk, but still frustrating, you know, because, like, well, it is what it is. But we did, like I said, make sure we weren't putting him at any risk. We wouldn't have even had him out, except that my partner's work, he's been working from home for quite a while, and they basically said, hey, you've been having a lot of dropped calls lately, and your choices are either come into the office and work, which can't do because quarantine, or just don't get paid for the next 2 weeks at all, or get your internet fixed, which is really frustrating because he works for the company that provides our internet. So it's kind of the company's fault that he couldn't work properly. But we did have somebody out. We got it fixed as far as we can tell. So here's hoping. We'll find out tomorrow. Like, I've saved up money to do things as best I can to make certain that if worse comes to worse, we're okay. But, yeah. Technically, we adults are allowed to leave the house and do things as long as we wear the N95s, but I'm not sure they'd let him wear the N95 on the call floor. Get back up there. Okay, yeah. Alright, so. But, I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along with his job. We're waiting for my new chair to come in. Nope. I bounced ahead too far. Technically, it's his new chair. I'll be getting my old one back. Okay. There we go. Unless I was actually supposed to decrease on this one, I can't remember. Okay, yeah, no, I wasn't supposed to decrease this round. Next round. Okay. He must have forgotten something. Rest well. Door. Thank you. Okay. Now that that's done, that, by the way, is the appropriate way to take off an N95. You never want to touch the outside because that's where any germs would be. So, okay. Alright. There we go. I did have to trim quite a bit and shave because a longer beard like what I was growing is actually not safe with an N95 because it pushes it out and breaks that seal, and that seal is very important to the mask functioning properly. So Sorry, I'm just focusing on this ear real quick. Goal tonight is to get both ears finished and get started on the head. I don't know that I have a nose available for the pupper, so we'll have to see. If not, I'll have to work on the body instead, but we'll see. Or the tail. I could work on the tail. That puts me at that many stitches. Okay, that's the wrong one then. Sorry, you always have to double check things like that. Once I'm done, you'll get to see just how big this ear is. And you'll get an idea of how big the finished plushie is going to be. Let's see, other interesting things. Oh! I picked up a green, well, I ordered online a green screen that I will be using in the future, because with the new job during training, I have to be on camera for the entirety of training. Which, not a huge deal. Except that the room that my work computer is in is a very high traffic corridor. I am going to be trying to fix that too. But that means that if I want to have a as uninterrupted work environment as possible, I'm going to need a green screen during training, so that if somebody, opens the door without thinking, or I can't get the other option available, which will be the door between the twins' room and the upstairs hallway, if I can't get those to work, then I'll need that green screen to make certain that, people aren't just walking on and off camera. Which is kind of important that they don't. Like, my new job, if they had it their way, would prefer that I had a dedicated room that was just for me to work in, but that's not happening. We don't have a big enough house for that, not at the moment. So, we all just kind of have to do what we can. Give me just a second. I want to count stitches and make certain. Yep, that one. Okay. If you notice at the end of each row, well, you probably can't notice because I've got the... Can I angle this? Yeah, okay. So, when I get to the end of each row, you'll notice that I do a single stitch. It's known as a turning stitch. And it's a single... It's a chain stitch, not a crochet. So I've done single crochet this whole way. Now I do a single chain, and that will, it'll keep the edges as flat as they can be. You'll notice there's a slope here, but that's because I'm decreasing every single round to give it the traditional dog ear shape, Okay, so hold on just a sec. Okay, yeah. You'll see it again on this next, as I'm ending this row here. So, and chain stitch. Now we're going to start decreasing a bit more. So, we're going to decrease, then single crochet, and decrease again. This will pull that flat side inward while also making the ear start to curve, so we get a more dog-like ear shape. Okay, I'm almost done with this ear, which is nice, you know, quick and easy. Okay, so now we do our turn chain, 1, and then we're decreasing again. Okay. Alright, so this ear is basically done, but what we have to do now to get the traditional curve, plus leave ourselves some room for sewing, what we do is we finish off. Now let me grab my yarn needle. One of them, I have a bajillion. Of course. Let's see. There's the one with the larger eye. Okay. I've got one with a massive eye, but that is more for like working with the super bulky yarns. This is for working with like finer yarns, and this one I actually use for my if I'm working with super delicate yarn, like what I use to make the little octopus, which I'm working on another of those right now, but I'm not doing an octopus. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm just kind of making it up as I go. Okay. So first things first, we thread this end through the eye of our yarn needle. There is a trick that's technically easier than what I do, but it requires having like just standard thread handy if you don't have an actual yarn threader, which I've got one, but I don't know where it is, so good luck there. Okay, now, again, we're wanting that curved over puppy dog ear, okay? So here's what we're going to do. On this flat side, the edge that we have not been decreasing on, we're going to thread it in, and we're just going to thread right down through those end stitches all the way to the bottom. There we go. Now we're going to pull through, if I can get it to, there we go. Okay, and once we pull through fully, first, that gives us the rounded ear tip that you see in dogs. Now, as we tighten it, oh look, that puppy dog ear curls over as we tighten. So we end up with an ear that folds over, like most greyhound's ears do. going to straighten it out a little bit. Okay. There we go. Got a nice flopped over ear for our greyhound. For Monster 2.0, as I always term these memorial plushies. And I can tighten that more to make it look more like him, or I can loosen it depending on how I need to work. Alright, now let's get my yarn again, and we're going to do the second ear. And I know I'm going to be needing this again, so I'm actually going to leave my yarn needle out. You know what, Octopus? Since I have no other use for you, you're going to get a needle stabbed in your head and you're going to hold it for me. That works. Okay. So back we go. And we're going to do the same thing over again. Which, that didn't take me very long. I've only been streaming how long now? Just under 30 minutes, so we should finish this ear by the end of an hour, or pretty darn... Wait, why am I doing a magic loop? I don't need a magic loop for this, it's done flat. I swear. They keep coming out of their room. They're not coming up here because they realize I'm streaming, but they keep coming out of their room and they're not supposed to. This time I will not really need to check my stitch counts back and forth, because I recognized really quickly what the pattern was going to be. So it should be nice and simple from here. Might have to check them a few times just because I get distracted easily, but... Okay. Other news from the world of Mason. Roommate tested negative for COVID and is now staying with his parents. So that's good for him. I mean, he's who we've been most worried about getting something. So let's see. Spousal unit was saying that he was showing signs of COVID, but it turned out to be a false alarm because he took his allergy pills and, oh look, all of the symptoms went away. The rough, scratchy throat that I'm having, similar thing. It's allergies. I did test negative, as did my partner, so. The son that is having to quarantine with our sick munchkin, who, by the way, is now showing no symptoms anymore. His cough's all cleared up. He's actually eager to go back to school. Apparently, he desperately wants to get back to school on this coming Friday, if not any earlier. He'd love to go back earlier, but it's because he had a partner that they have a presentation due. She is horrifically afraid of doing the presentation, so he promised that if she did the majority of the work, he would do the presentation. And now he does not want to disappoint her by suddenly not being at school the day of the presentation, which is next Friday. I've done the math, and as long as he wears his N95 mask, which he's going to be wearing from now on, because until the schools decide, oh yeah, we're closing and moving back to virtual learning, yeah, no, my kids are doing N95s everywhere. I've got some N95s coming in the mail. I found out from a reputable source, someone who is a doctor, the best way to ensure the longevity and safety of the N95, and we're going to get a system set up to ensure that is in place here at home. And yeah, we're just all gonna use N95s and continue to stay home as much as possible. It's very frustrating for me because I am used to getting a lot more animal enrichment, shall we say. I'm the one who's always the one who has to go out to the shops. I'm the one who goes and, takes people to their appointments, things like that. And being stuck at home is really, really rough. It's one thing when you're like me and you're constantly having to go out, having to do things, and you really just kind of want a day to relax and stay at home. But it being enforced makes it a lot more frustrating. It's not as relaxing because now instead of feeling like, oh, I'm just getting a nice day off, I can relax, it feels like I'm trapped, can't go anywhere. It's like back when I first got home from my surgery and wasn't allowed to drive. That sensation of I can't. It's not fun, shall we say. Apparently I get stir crazy real fast when the rule is you can't do that instead of, you don't want to do that. Even just simple things like going down to the park and walking have not been an option right now because it's cold as balls outside. We had a severe temperature drop. It snowed yesterday. Well, yeah, it's still yesterday. Friday is yesterday still. No, Saturday is yesterday still. But it snowed here in Oklahoma. It's not supposed to do that. It needs to stop that. Don't do that. Meanwhile, a friend of mine from up in Colorado is like, it snowed. It's so wonderful. I'm like, my friend in Canada is like, it snowed. It's wonderful. I'm like, what? No. Snow is bad. Snow makes it harder to drive. Snow is... ugh. No, thank you. But I'm not from a place where it snows often, so, we just don't have the infrastructure down here. Like, there's no real snowplows. What they do if it snows is they see if the street sweepers can handle it. And we don't have brine trucks that spray actual salt water or salt trucks that spray proper salt. No, we have work crews who get assigned to go out in a big truck that's similar to the garbage truck and, shovel snow onto patches of road. And, half the time they don't even do that because we don't have the manpower to do that. Not to cover all the streets. They'll hit the main thoroughfares, but side streets, anything that isn't an arterial street, they're not going to do that. They can't. We don't have enough salt stored up, for one. Why would we? We don't get this kind of weather. Thankfully, the snow was not bad enough to stick. I even had to go out driving yesterday, and I was fine because, I hit one icy patch, and it was in a neighborhood. So, and, why I had to go out was we had ordered grocery delivery, and when it arrived, there were things that were marked as unavailable, and they were the medicine that my kid needed. I'm going to have to go out tomorrow to the pharmacy. Because I've got to try to get one of my spouse's medicines short-filled because they happen to run out and their doctor won't be in until Tuesday because holiday, and the pharmacy won't fill it because, it's out of refills. So I'm going to have to see if I can at least convince them to short-fill that. And if they can't, then, I don't know, I guess he's out of luck until Tuesday or Wednesday, which is not good because he needs that med to sleep. And he needs the sleep so he can work, Otherwise, he pretty much drinks nothing but energy drinks, and those aren't good for the heart. So, you know. Okay. Sorry, I'm counting. Okay. Let's see. In other news, trying to think of anything interesting or worthwhile, but honestly, my brain is fried. Like, I knew that the internet person was coming out this morning, so I went to bed early for me, which meant 3:30 instead of 4 a.m. Only to have him call at 8 a.m. to say, hey, I'll be there in an hour. Well, of course, I couldn't get back to sleep then, because I had to wait for him, and he arrived and he did his stuff, and it was like 11:30 when I finally laid down again, and it was not restful sleep. I tried until like 4, but it was just tossing and turning, and I mean, part of that is I am a 5'4" person who is sleeping on a 4-foot couch when I have to sleep on the couch, which is 5 days a week, and you know, so it's not fun, not easy, but it's what it is. I mean, if we had a bigger house, great. If I had a room all to myself, or my partner didn't work in our bedroom, great, but as it is, no, those are not options. We tried earplugs, you know. That was our first thought, was, okay, you can just wear earplugs. I tried. They made my ears bleed. So I tried a different type of earplugs. You know, we figured, okay, maybe it's the foam ones that are doing it. So we switched to the silicone, the ones that are basically like wax. They made my ears bleed. So it came down to, well, okay, your ears are going to bleed, and you're not going to sleep that well, because I was still hearing every single call, and it would keep me awake, especially if he had a rough one, because those rough calls, he gets very frustrated, and you can hear it in their voice. And it just wasn't working. So we switched to me sleeping on the couch when they were working. And I mean, if I take my meds, I can do it. It's not exactly comfortable. I end up pretty sore, but at least I'm sleeping. Because if I don't sleep, then my depression acts up. So it's very important that I do get decent sleep, or else there are repercussions. Dadgummit, I was not supposed to decrease there. Hold on. I keep moving my hands out of sight, and I apologize for that. I'm not meaning to, just kind of happens. But I'm almost done with this ear, which that's actually very impressive, because last time it took me 26 minutes, and this time it's taking me 14. So yeah, getting faster at this at least. I kind of think I'm going to end the stream once I finish the, excuse me, once I finish the second ear, though, just because, like I said, very poor sleep. Had a lot of stuff that I intended to do today and didn't. Oh, something that I am doing that I just started 2 days ago. But I am... Did I do... Hold on. Yep, okay. Accidentally chained 2 instead of chained 1. I have decided I am going to try and write a short story a day, every day for this year. I'm already 14 days behind because I only just started this yesterday. But I'm gonna try. I used to write a lot. Just a lot. Hold on just a sec. Yeah, that's all. Thought I was at that point. Okay. Look at that, I'm already at the end point on this ear. But yeah, I used to write a lot of short stories. I kept up a blog that was called Homely Letters for well over a year. And it was just short story after short story after short story. A lot of them were interlinked as they were all related to my World of Warcraft characters at the time. But this one, if I end up doing it and it... Wait. Hold on. I screwed up. How did I do that? Good question. How did I do that? What on earth? Okay, there we go. I don't quite know what I did here, but I'm fixing it. It's just gonna... Aha. Okay, there we go. So I'm having to pull out quite a few of these. Okay. It's okay. I'll just figure out where I was. Alright. So I'm going to decrease row. And count. You guys get to see me screw up so much. Gonna have to back up a row or two. That's okay. Alright. So last row is 6 plus 1 chain stitch. There we go. So now decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. 5 plus 1 chain. Now, decrease, okay. 1, then 1, 2, then decrease again, 3. Okay. Now, in there, and 1, 2. Aha, I forgot this single chain at the end. Okay. But I'm not chaining. I'm finishing off. There we go. Okay, figured out where I screwed up. Isn't it great when I do that? And it doesn't take too much effort. So, okay. Back to here. Let's see. But yes, I am doing a short story a day. They are using primarily prompts from a Tumblr that is writing prompts, and that's all they are. It's just prompts. I love it. I've been saving up these prompts for a long time with the thought of, I'll write this someday. Well, I've decided the someday is now. And, you know, I'm not going for like a ton, you know, I'm not trying for 20k words a day or anything like that. Heck, I'm not even really trying for 1,000 words a day. It's just that seems to be right at what I'm hitting generally. Apparently that's just my sweet spot. But, so I'm trying to do those. I'm posting them to my AO3 account. If anyone specifically wants that account and wants to know where they can find it, let me know. I can put it up on my Twitter. I can put it up on my YouTube. Whatever. Just some way that people can find it if they want it. I am certainly not going to force people to read my self-indulgent writing, because that's what it is. Let's face it. It's self-indulgent. It's I'm looking at the prompts. They make me laugh. They give me a story idea. So I go ahead and write that story. That's all it is. Nothing important. Okay. So those are done. Puppy now has 2 ears. Let me see what the tail entails. Tail for a greyhound, whippet, galgo, whatever you want to call. Okay, yeah, that's super simple. Let me double check the coloration on Monster's tail. Pop over here. Well, that's not very useful now, is it? Hold on, I've got other pictures of him. Monster, I just want to know what your tail looks like, buddy. Of course, he, like most greyhounds, tended to keep his tail tucked a bit. Let's see, do I have a better picture of him on my phone? All I want is a good picture of his tail. I know I have a picture of him on my phone because when I was trying to get the messenger. No, that's just a picture of his belly. Dadgummit. Alright, I'm gonna have to go to my friend's page and on Facebook and find pictures of Monster's tail there, or at least pictures that include Monster's tail there. The problem with pictures of greyhound tails is, again, they have a tendency to keep them tucked. This is not a this dog is abused, it's just they naturally tuck them, and when they're not tucked, they're wagging so hard at all times that you really have to get lucky to get a good picture of one. Here's hoping. I'm sure there's one somewhere, but if not, I might have to ask them for details. That said, we are just short of an hour. I do have stuff that I have to do tonight, so I am going to go ahead and end the stream here. Didn't get as far as I wanted to tonight, but we'll just see. I'll probably work on it at other times during the week, not just on the stream. And I mean, I am going to be starting my new job, the classes for it, on not this coming Monday, so not tomorrow, but the following Monday. And since I've already done all of the training for this job once, I anticipate getting a lot of crochet time in during the training, because that's what I did when I first started the job all that time ago. Was during class I ended up crocheting 1 queen-size blanket and 2 baby blankets, because I focus better and listen better when I'm working on something with my hands. Thankfully, my trainer at the time was very understanding. They got it. They weren't bothered by it because they could tell that I was paying attention, I was asking questions, I was engaged with the class, and I was making good scores on every single test and assignment. I could answer any question that was put to me by the trainer and did not have any qualms whatsoever that I was going to do a good job. So, I'm not too worried. I think I'm going to enjoy working at this job just as much as I did the first time I worked there. But that said, I do want to thank everyone who made it out to tonight's stream. I hope that everyone stays safe, that you take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you next week on Thursday for the gaming stream.